Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be washing my bike packing bike. And basically I want to make this video because I find that people are washing their bikes too aggressively and they're washing away the grease, which isn't great. I'm going to show you a quick and simple way of washing your bicycle, and you don't need much equipment. So what more do you need? Let's get on with it. So then, what exactly do we need? Well, let's take a look. So I've got a couple of tubs. The first one here is going to be used for degreaser. The second one is going to have some hot soapy water with washing up liquid in it. And then the final one, this is a car shampoo, and we're going to be putting that on with a big softy brush. So yeah, that's all you need basically, guys. We start with degreaser. We only use the washing up liquid on the parts that we've degreased, just to make sure that they don't get the big softy brush oily. And then we move on to the car shampoo last. So let's get on with it. The first job then is to get these bike packing bags off and give them a good hose down with some fresh water, because I sweated so much all over these on a recent bike packing trip. So first things first, then we're going to need to put a little bit of degreaser into one of the tubs. And this is a plant-based degreaser, so it's really kind to the environment. It's very important to me. Apart from that, it's bloody fantastic. Don't need a lot. If I need a little bit more, I'll put a little bit more in. And then all we have to do then, guys, is start putting this onto the chain. Not just the chain, but the whole drivetrain. It is really, really grubby. And the reason I brush this on rather than spraying it is because I don't want to go in the bearings. The way I'm doing this here is kind of going downwards and not inwards, so it should be nice and gentle. And obviously when you get in oil everywhere, you do get it on here as well, so this is going to need a degreasing also. And you want to get onto the onto there. Don't worry about making a mess, it's fine. So it's worth at this point just dropping down a couple of gears, or you're going to miss some of the sprockets. Wow, it is really, really dirty, this is. It's going to need a good clean. Right, we need to give that a few minutes now, and we can clean the brush off and get ready for stage 2. And yeah, what we want to do, give this brush a bit of a clean off. Let that have a little drain, and then we're going to move on to the hot soapy water to finish off this. But before we do, we will give it a rinse. Okay, so let's prepare this. It can be a little bit strong, that's fine. I'm just using this as an extra degreaser, and you can actually bypass this step if you wish. I'm going to use a pan because I don't have a kettle. And that's all we need. Let that simmer for a moment, and we'll move back onto the bicycle. Right, we're ready to hose the bike off. And what you want to do with this is not use a pressure washer. You want to be nice and gentle. And you can see this is why I like to use the soapy water afterwards. Look how nice that's coming up. So it's reasonably gentle, this. There's not much pressure under it. And that's kind of how you want things. That's enough of that. Now we're going to get back on to this nice warm soapy water. And the reason I don't use this on the body of the bike, actually on the frame, it's just a little bit too strong. For this sort of stuff it works absolutely fine. And we want to make sure we get all this oil off before we move on to the shampoo. So I find scouring pads really good for this, but obviously we're not going to use the hard side, we're going to use the soft side. They're just a nice size. Work really well. And another reason why I like using one of these sponges, and again I'm not going to use the scouring part, but you can just grab hold of the chain and just run it through like that. It's all good stuff. Making things very nice and clean. I mean, look what I've just taken off. Okay, so prior to the wash with the shampoo, I need to give this whole bike just a little bit of a rinse over. Nothing too serious. I know the forks are particularly dusty. It's very dusty where I live. I got a Strada Bianchi, a dirt road to access where I live. That's enough. Now we need to prepare the shampoo. Put a little bit of shampoo in here. That's all we need. Right. And then we're just going to soak down the frame a little bit. You can do these bits again, it doesn't matter. Oh, very clean now. And that's essentially it, guys. We just got to hose it off. And there, we're done. What I do like to do when I'm finished is to give this a little bit of a spin round. And essentially all I'm doing here is trying to get the water out of the chain. And we can take that a stage further in a moment. So you can probably see here I put a little silicone sealant attachment onto the end of my track pump. And there's a little nozzle in the end. I've got to make sure I pull this back and then you can blow the air out. This isn't necessary at all, you know, you can just dry it with a rag, especially out here in Sardinia. It's going to dry off really quickly, but I like to do it. Men and their gadgets, eh? I don't always use a clean rag. As long as you pick a clean part of the rag, it's going to be absolutely fine. I mean, yeah, you clean the chain to get all the grime off it, you don't have to worry about tiny little bits like this. You see that it still comes off, you know, even though we've cleaned and degreased the chain with degreaser and also with washing up liquid, you still get bits coming off. It's amazing how much dirt you can actually get on your chain. And all of that dirt is making its way into a paste and wearing your chain down. And while we're at this point, it's very much worth just getting a chain checker on there and seeing how things are going. So absolutely no problems whatsoever. Okay, so while the chain is drying, what I'm going to do is just give everything down a little bit of a wipe down with a microfiber, just to dry things off. And this helps get off any remaining bits of dirt. So I'm just going to put just a dab on even, just a little bit of this down here. It'll help to get the last of the grease off, but it'll also help stop new grease from building up on it. And I'm just going to give it a bit of lube. And you might be wondering, if you live in a hot, dry country, why are you using wet lube? Well, because I am. I don't like the dry lubes. I don't find they work very well for me. And I'm not keen on waxing, so I do this, and it's absolutely fine. You know, if you give your chain a wipe down after a long ride, then it's really not that messy, and it doesn't require cleaning a great deal. So yeah, that's what I do. There we go, it's all the way round. Let's give that a little spin through. let it sit, and then I'll wipe off the excess. So we're all done. There you have it, guys. One spanky clean gravel bike. I will wipe off the excess chain lube in a moment. I like to leave it for about 30 minutes or so before I wipe it off. I'm not in a rush, it all helps. So let's take a little look at the finished bike then. And you can see just what a huge difference I've actually made to this bike. You know, it's a gravel bike, it gets used off-road, and there's a lot of Strada Bianchi around here. So this bike in particular gets very, very dusty. But apart from that, you know, I do use a wet lube. I prefer a wet lube. And where this has just been bike packing for a few days, I didn't get to wipe the chain off. And things just got very oily all around the chain, but also the sprockets and also around the chain stays as well. It really needed a good clean, but it's had one and it's looking a lot better. So, if you found this video useful, and you'd like to see more videos like this, then please like and subscribe, guys. It really, really helps me out. And I'll see you on the next video. Ciao for now. Ciao, ciao.